Hello my friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi and to 100 Days of Pockets. Today is day 42 and today's pocket is a paper ruffle pocket. And I made this in collaboration with Cindy A. Lewis. So please check her out. Each of us are doing 100 videos, one pocket every day for 100 days. Like I said, today is day 42. If you would like a handy booklet with all the instructions on how to create these pockets, check out my description box and go over there and you can grab hers. It is downloadable PDF. All right, my friends? Today you will need some strips of book pages, music paper, patterned paper. I have grabbed this. I want to mention, yes, mine are straight, but if you tear yours, especially if it's like music paper or something, oh my goodness, that would be a gorgeous ruffle. You want a base paper, and I have this masterboard that I created a while back, and I just thought these colors looked nice together, so I'm going to use this masterboard as my base paper. You're going to want scissors or a paper trimmer, glue or a sewing machine. I'm going to glue this for you guys. I could sew it. I do have a machine, but not all of you have access to a machine. So I'm going to go ahead and do this by hand and glue it. And then of course, if you want to decorate with lace or washi, buttons, whatever, have at it. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to get this out of the way, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and ruffle this paper. And I want to show you that we could go straight with it, or we could get kind of wonky and move like side to side. So it depends on how much time that you want to take ruffling your paper, basically. But I think I'm good. Well, you know what? Let's do one what we call a little bit of a wonky one. Wonky ones are definitely easier to do if you are working with fabric, but still you can see just by sort of pinching a side and then pinching the other side, it's, you know, it's a little bit different. It's not perfectly straight, and it gives kind of a cool look, right? So that would be our first one. Now, if I was going to do one straight, I would just go ahead and start here and start here, go down here, and then you're just going to fold like this. And then you're going to pinch it basically and bring it up like that. And then one more time, and so on and so forth, okay? And that will create your ruffle. But since I'm going to go wonky style, I'm going to redo this one and just go to the side if it'll let me. It's remembering the the other folds that I did, and that's okay. We're just going to work with what we got. This one's getting really wild, and that's okay. We're going to embrace it. We're just going to see what we end up with, and just enjoy doing this and being a little bit different about it. Okay, my friends? All right, there we go. That one's super, super wonky. Let's go ahead and do these. And I'm going to do, I probably don't need all these strips, but I'm going to do all of them just so I can pick my favorite ones when I decide to, you know, that it's time to go down the page with them, okay? And just be free about it, and just pinch it like that and see what you end up with, okay? There's that one. Cute, right? Okay, we've got all of our ruffles done. And I'm going to flip them over. Hold on now, I'm flipping them over and I'm thinking, wow, they look kind of cool on this side. But no, I'm flipping them over. I'm not switching gears on this. I was going to say this could be the front, but no, I'm not going to confuse myself and switch gears. So the next thing is you could go ahead and go in each fold and just get a dab of glue in there. I want your folds to stick together. All right, so that one is done. I'm going to show you now. I'm simply going to press this down, and then I'm going to take something heavy. I've got my jar here. I'm going to put my jar on it until that dries. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and do these. If you needed to use hot glue, you certainly could do that. Okay, my friends, I can definitely get away with using 3 of the 4 ruffles that I made. So let's go ahead and play around with them. I think if this one goes on the top, I like the way that that looks. I like the shape. This one's a little bit shorter, so it can fit very nicely right here. And then I'm thinking of even adding one to the bottom like this. What if I flip it over like this? How does that look? I like it. And then we're gonna have a nice little snuggle spot for a tag. So now what I'm gonna do is these are gonna get flipped over again. Hold on, I want to make sure I do this right. So my glue line is going to go on this part, right on this edge over here for these. And then my glue line is going to go on this edge. And if I flip it over like that, on this edge, okay? So that's how we're going to do those. Some of the folds make it so that the glue line is like this is an empty space. That's okay. We're not going to worry about that. As long as it can stick to the page, that's all we're caring about. We just want to make sure it's going to stick and not go anywhere. Okay, and then this one, I got to remember what I did here. Let me see, it might have been this way. Okay, so I want it to be like this. Now I'm going to glue these down. Now again, you guys don't have to make wonky ones like I did. I was just feeling a little wonky today, so that's what I wanted to do. I'm going to decorate this a little bit now, but I want to let you guys know that you don't have to do the bottom. You can if you want, but look here, it'll, something will tuck right in there without having to do the bottom. But if you have like a large tag, it's kind of nice to have the bottom done, and that way it kind of catches if it starts to slide. Like when we make those side tucks, sometimes I like to put a tab there to keep everything in place. Now, I'm just going to use some hot glue, and the reason I'm using the hot glue is because this is bumpy and I want it to like fill in the blanks as I put this decoration down on the page. Because it's bumpy, so you need the glue to, get in there, into the grooves, if you will. I have this really cool postcard that was in my stash. This was given to me in Happy Mail. I do believe I know who sent it to me, but I'm not going to say just in case I'm wrong. I'm fairly certain, but just in case. So that is what I'm going to stuff in this fun pocket. What do you guys think about that? Isn't that fun? I love it. I love how it turned out. So this is our paper ruffle pocket for day 42, and I appreciate you guys being here. Check out Cindy's channel and see what she came up with today. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. All right, my friends, thanks for watching. See you soon.